Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If that is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, this is a message for you. We're also joined by Pudgy. He, I guess, likes to be in these videos a lot lately. Okay, let's kind of move over here, bud. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and lift this. All right, let's see what we can see. And I just wanted to mention, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for clicking on the video and checking this reading out. If you are returning, I appreciate you coming back. I appreciate you looking at some other videos. I hope that the messages are resonating with you. If you would go ahead and like, subscribe, leave a comment, any kind of engagement like that helps me to get into the algorithm, and that means more people are looking at my videos, and gosh, do I appreciate that. So thank you, and let's see. Oh, don't bump me, buddy. Okay. Let's see here, Sagittarius. Oh, okay, I already see one thing. I'm gonna come back around. Well, okay. I'm gonna start right here because I saw two things. I was gonna turn it a little bit more, but I really wanna start right here. Okay, so I see a big heart. I think this is going to be a love reading, Sagittarius, for better or worse. And this one is interesting. It has a bit of a little space here, maybe a little hole. But when you look at it, it also looks like, and let me get this closer. It also looks like two figures coming together. Okay, and it looks like this one's even has its little leg kicked out there. I almost can imagine like two people holding hands and like spinning around in a field or something. So I think that this love is a new love coming together. I don't get the feeling that this is like there's a hole in my heart, or there's a relationship falling apart. It really feels like this is like a very kind of active, there's a vivacious, I guess would be a good word, just very alive, very intense, happy, maybe even the kind of the honeymoon period it could be, or just coming back together within a long-term relationship, a marriage, you know, a long-time partnership, whatever it is. It could be a reformation or a reactivation of the kind of the intense eros, which would be kind of the physical attraction, the lovemaking, flirtation, or amour, which is a bit of a more involved kind of love, right? A partnership, something a little more enduring. But you can have more than one kind of love going on with the same person. You can be in these periods of you know, exquisite, blissful, you know, ecstatic eros. And then you can also have the amour, the more coming together as a unit, a family. And then there's the love of, you know, the familial love, which usually is reserved more for like parents, children, siblings, uncles, aunts, whatever, stuff like that. But you can have that as well with your with a spouse or significant other. So there can be lots of layers. And you know, if you are say like deeply religious couple, or practitioners, a partnership in your practices, spiritual, occult, esoteric, magic, whatever it is, tantric. You can definitely have that agape as well, which is a love, a divine love, God love, the love that is reserved for the higher parts of self. Okay, so you can have all those things kind of woven together into one relationship with one person. I mean, hey, you could have all those things with yourself and your different your different archetypes, different parts of self. You know, we are very complex beings. So, but in this case, I am getting a good feeling for this signifying an intense period of Eros and possibly the Amor. So, and involved a connection that is fairly strong, okay? And we'll look a little bit more at this union we have going here. And then we just go over here a little bit, and this one is very interesting to me as well. It looks like Hermes to me, with the little hat and the kind of wings, and the body here, kind of in like a flying, and with the arm extended, and it looks like holding something. So I see that Hermes, or Mercury, is delivering some kind of message to you today, and it looks like it's coming right up to this union, this heart we have going here. So what kind of message could be coming your way, Sagittarius? Is this going to be some kind of I don't know. Are you gonna have a baby? Are you going to be proposed to? Is there some kind of happy, moving in together? Maybe even the first time somebody says, I love you to you. I think that this really is something, this is going to be something of a landmark in this relationship. So something's going to happen, okay? Maybe this is that you found, you found something that you guys like to do together, and it's just really clicking. Some kind of awakening, some kind of activation of that serpent kundalini, if you get my drift, something like that. And I think that it's going to be very intense because the message is being delivered by a God, basically. So the messenger of the gods. This is an important message, right? This is like coming to you on like a pretty piece of paper and a little seal on it and all of that. So this message is going to be important. Let's see if we can get any clarity about what that is going to be. Now, if I rotate this formation of Hermes, let's turn it this way. And it's interesting because now it looks like a person kind of dangling a little bit. Their legs are up. And they're kind of laying. It looks like they're gazing upwards. They have their arm extended. It looks like they're grabbing for one of two things. Okay, 1, 2. So, what does this mean? It seems like maybe a choice will have to be made. It seems like maybe this message really is going to be something. Could be like a proposal, maybe, or like moving in together, deciding how you're going to further your relationship. Maybe your spouse is asking you, where do you want to go on vacation? Do you want to go to number 1 or number 2? That would be a nice surprise, right? So maybe it's one of these it's going to be something that you have to kind of, and because it is the same formation turned on its side, gives me more context to the formation, the original formation, to the situation pertaining to this formation. So I think that there's going to be a question for you, and you need to come up with an answer. Okay? And now I'm going to go over here because this is right next to this Hermes slash guy kind of person, unspecific person making a decision, picking one or two. Okay, so this one up here, and let me make sure I'm still in focus. Okay, this looks like the ibis bird, and I it's not the whole formation of the bird, but because of the shape of the beak, this usually is for me related to Thoth, which is the Egyptian god of magic and knowledge and mathematics and a variety of things. But in this context, I think that this really is an indicator that this is something you're going to have to think about. You're going to have use some critical thinking, not just emotional thinking. I know that you're in this love space, but I think that this question, this decision that you're going to be making, it's really going to be important. And I'm seeing right here on the sides of Thoth is 1, 2 again. So I think this is really not so much a question of, there's not a lot of different ways that this thing can go. I mean, of course there are going to be different variables, but I think this is really a yes or no type of question. Okay. And so when we see Thoth, I think it just really tells me that this is something you're going to have to ponder. You're going to have to look at the pros and cons. Sagittarius, I think that you're a very analytical thinker anyways, so this isn't going to be difficult for you, but you're in this intense love space right now. You're in this Euro space. And sometimes our brains get a little silly when we're really in love, right? We don't always act ourselves. So, whatever this decision is going to be, think about it. Make a list. Really kind of play out some scenarios in your head. Plan. I don't think that'll be difficult, but I think that you need to be realistic, because it feels like, although not the hugest thing, I don't feel like you are getting married right now, but maybe getting engaged, right? Or maybe deciding to move somewhere. Maybe deciding if you want to have children together or something. Like, those are big things. I don't think it's like something that's happening right this second, but I think that it is something that it will put the wheels in motion for things to happen down the line. Okay, so you need to, use that critical scientific mind. And don't let your emotions rule you in this decision making. Although, obviously that is a part of it. And there's a little cat here and here. Okay, now let's see. We're going to keep rotating. And let me get this in focus. Okay, so now I want to kind of this one here, and let's get this in focus here. Please stay in focus for me. Okay, so this one is what I'm looking at, and this one looks like a guardian angel to me, and it's kind of pointing towards, this would be kind of a side profile. Here's a wing, here's kind of this robe dress kind of thing, and has a little hand kind of pointing this way to the right. So this is about the future. Okay, so this is going to be something that your guardian angel is, I wouldn't say warning you about, but this is something that they want you to watch out for. Okay, and I'm going to see, I'm going to turn it. Okay. Well, and it's interesting because if I turn it this way a little bit, it almost looks like this guardian angel has, and now it's facing forward and it has arms this way and this way, back, the past, the now, and the future. So maybe this is a situation that is going on that will also influence the future. It's going to go into the future. Okay, so over here, and I want to see if we can get some context to what that angel's talking about. So I'm going to kind of go off of that thread and look at some of these other, because I see this and this looks like, these look like they're in motion this way. And I feel like it's pointing towards this one. Now, this one is interesting because it looks to me like a caterpillar, chrysalis, and then a butterfly kind of emerging from it. So I feel like this is really also in conjunction to your abundant love life that's going on right now. You're really going through a huge metamorphosis in your life, just as a being, as a physical, mundane, corporal being, but also because of where this is located from the bottom here, which is more of the physical realm, up the side of the bowl or cup here, okay, and then with its head and this butterfly kind of moving up into this rim area, which is the spiritual, metaphysical, higher thinking, the daemon, the guardian angel, all of these kind of mystical things, or ultra terrestrial type area of existence. This tells me that you're really growing. You've got a lot of stuff going on for you. You really seem to have done a lot of self-work, but I also think that it's the self-work, but I also believe that you have also really just begun to come into yourself. And I feel you're exuding confidence, and that I think that is not only within your spiritual practices, with your mental health, with the interests that you have. I feel like you definitely are a person, you get really involved in whatever you're interested in. I think that you have a firm grasp of those things, and I think that carries over probably into your career path. Okay, I think that this deep love relationship that is emerging, or has been and is going through kind of a peak again, not a peak, but a high point. I think you're really coming together, feeling each other. I think that this is, I don't want to say it's like your first relationship, but I think it's probably your first really important relationship. And so I think through this real high swing of love and desire, lust, coming together, union, I think that you are developing deeper understandings for yourself, but also just as a human being existing. I think that things that maybe you never even considered. You're seeing them in a different way, a new perspective. I think that this is helping you blossom as a being. I get this feeling when I'm saying this, I'm thinking of the word, I think that there's a deeper empathy. I think that you almost to some degree have kind of like rose-colored lenses on, but because you're in a deep state of love right now, love feelings, I think that, but that's okay. We don't have to walk through life always being highly critical, suspicious, you know, whatever. Of course, we need to take care of ourselves and stay safe, okay? But it's okay to go into these periods. We need to go into these periods of just real enjoyment and, you know, and I want to pull up the card that I pulled today for this reading, and that would be the Three of Cups. And in this lovely, this is the Mother Peace Tarot deck. In this lovely depiction of the Three of Cups, you see these, you know, beings, women, men. I don't know exactly what all of them are, both probably, but we also see this sea creature swimming in the waters of the crescent moon. A lot of abundance, okay? And that's what this card is about. It's about abundance, spiritual abundance, physical abundance, material abundance, but most importantly, that spiritual abundance, discovery, a wealth of inspiration. And I really feel like you are in that. And I think through your union, and I'm not saying it's just love that does this, but love opens many doors, doesn't it? Love heals many things, doesn't it? It really smooths over the rough corners. So I really think that you're in a very abundant period right now. And I think a lot of that has to do with these love feelings that you have. It's really creating a space where you feel like you can just do about anything. And now, let's see what else we can see here. What are you trying to tell us, Angel? I know, we need to go look at these ones because I haven't really looked at those. And those are kind of interesting. They look like, one looks like a horse that's rearing up, and that's this one in the front here. And then the one behind it, what do you look like? Oh, interesting. Okay, now I'm seeing it. It looks like a dragon. Like a dragon holding a sword. And I see this little right here. So interesting. I almost get... This one looks like a person and let me see if I can get this up close. Oh, so temperamental. Okay, so it looks like a horse and somebody riding it. And the... horse is kind of rearing up. So they're both facing different directions. Oh, I just hit the angel. They're both facing different directions, and they look like they kind of, it's like one of those scenes where there's like people fighting, like battling, or there's a sword fight going on, and there's two people fighting together on the same side, and they're back to back, you know, to have each other's backs, and they're fighting the things around them. So I get this impression that this person that you are building this union with, you really, really have each other's backs. I feel like this is not a sign of that there's an impending war coming, or you have some awful, you know, there's going to be something awful that you both have to fight off together. Although, you know, that's life. Sometimes we have like little battles we have to get through. But I don't think that this is telling me that that is coming. But what I do see, and what this does represent to me as I'm looking at this, is that this person that is in your life that you have chosen to have this love affair with, you two just really, really are in balance. You're on each other's team. You have each other's backs. You can trust each other. And I really think that, I really get this feeling that there's this feeling of being protected and being protective. Okay? And I think there's a good balance there. And I think that's really important in a relationship, right? You need to be able to trust somebody to help take care of you and for you to take care of them as well. Okay, and let's look in the middle here. What do we have? This one, I keep thinking this one looks like Saturn. It looks like a person, but then it has like a sickle, or what is it called? A scythe, I think. I should know. I'm a huge devotee of Saturn. I always forget. I think the sickle is like death, right? And the scythe is more of the harvest. So I think that this is definitely just reinforces this idea of abundance. Any of the harvest gods, goddesses, imagery is really a sign of abundance and having a lot of resources at the time. If that is spiritual, if that is material, or both. Okay, so I think that you're going through a very abundant period right now, which is wonderful. And I'm just seeing all these signs of union. I see here there is one figure, two figure, and then above a union of the two. So I think really just, it's so apparent to me that this relationship is like in the front of your mind, okay? I see that you're building a foundation, and these look like kind of the blueprints of a foundation. So I think that this is your focus. I think I've seen a lot of paired things, a lot of twos. I think the two is going to be really important for you, whatever that means. It's part of your pattern that's going on right now. And then I see kind of this merging of two halves of the same whole. Or maybe the phrase, because it's like a circle with the hole kind of in the middle, but it reminds me of a coin, like two sides of the same coin. Also above, I see a bird in flight, okay, and there's this little, I'm sorry, I forgot to look at the view. Okay, so here it's two sides of the same coin. This is what this makes me think of, a bird in flight above it. And then this little piece is just kind of highlighting, balancing. I see a lot of symmetry between you two as well. I think you're a good pair. I think you're definitely a good pair, and I'm going to go ahead and look at this. Oh, and there's cat hairs. Oh, this cat walking over my saucer. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at you this way. Yeah, I think that really this relationship that is emerging or is coming into a new era, a new stage of your relationship, if it's an older relationship. I have this feeling that there's just this real desire to build together, to create a home together, to flourish as a unit, as a family, whatever that configuration of family looks like. I think that you and this person really just kind of click, and I think that you share a lot of the same dreams, aspirations, or your dreams and aspirations align in such a way that your goals and the things that you want to do together will be obtainable. I don't see a lot of fighting and chaos, but also this feels like a newer thing. So what I'm looking at in the cup is that this is, for the next 6 months or so, I would say things are really in a good place. I don't know about beyond that, okay? But what I'm seeing is just that there's this real flowing together. I think that probably there's going to be some question coming up. We talked about that. It's important. I see an exclamation mark. It's important. I really see that this next 6 months you're going to make a decision, and it's just going to you're going to go to the moon with each other, right? And whatever the decision that you've made, it's going to bring you closer. If it seems like it's going to be an easy answer to me, I think you already have thought about probably whatever this thing that is coming up is. You've already thought about it, maybe discussed it, but I think it's really, really just going to keep building and building upon, each little step that you two go forward together. And, I just see like this real strong bond happening and a really strong home life coming together as well. And abundance, a lot of abundance, which is wonderful. And I'm so happy for you. Okay. That 3 of Cups. What a happy card to get. Okay. So that's it, Sagittarius. This has been such a great reading. And I'm always so happy when a reading turns out to be such a positive one. It puts me in a good mood as well. So I'm very happy for you. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. I appreciate the time that we spend together here. If you would be so kind as to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how these messages are resonating with you. If you're interested in watching the other videos that correlate with your natal chart, you can go ahead. If you don't know what your natal chart is, like if you don't know what your lunar and ascendant / rising placements are, there are a lot of sites where you can go and put in your information. And I need to find the one that I want to link, but I will link one in my description, so it'll be easy for you to go look for. What else? If you want to find me on Facebook, I have a page on there. It's Ula Tea Leaf Readings. I'm on Instagram, Ula of the Tea. If you're interested in a personal reading, please just go in the descriptions. There's an email. You can send me a message or send me an email, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. We can set that up, and that would be great. Other than that, I just thank you so much, and come back in a few days. I think it's about 12 days, and then I will have another Sagittarius video out. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, evening from us here at Ula Tea Leaf Readings to you. We appreciate you so much.